What's going on, guys? Real quick, if you want coaching with me, just go in the description box down below or head to masculineenergy.net//coaching. Masculineenergy.net/coaching. That will get you coaching with me. Some people don't know where to look, so they email me all the time. So it's a lot easier for me just to make a real quick intro video telling you where to go. Okay, I want to try to keep this daily train rolling with the whole letting go process. I know that they're kind of similar video to video, but I really want to be here to support you guys. So there's another book that I want you guys to pick up called The Sedona Method, and I'm going through it. I have not read this book in its entirety before, but I understand one thing, that it is about letting go. It does cover the same things that like the colorful emotional chart that I told you guys about. So I'm going to read a part, like literally, it's on page 26 for anybody who wants to reference of, again, The Sedona Method, and page 26, and I already have it highlighted. I have a lot of it highlighted already. But the main part, it starts with letting go. It says, one of the main ways we ourselves create disappointments, unhappiness, and misjudgment is by holding on to limiting thoughts and feelings. It's not that holding on is in and of itself is inappropriate. Holding on is perfectly appropriate in many situations. I wouldn't suggest, for instance, that you do not hold on to, that you not hold on to the steering wheel of your car that you were driving, or not hold on to the ladder you were climbing. You want to be holding on to those things. Obviously, the result of our choices could be unfortunate. But have you ever held on to a point of view when it didn't serve you? Have you ever held on to an emotion even though there was nothing you could do to satisfy it, make it right, or change the situation that appeared to cause it? Many of you guys are dealing with that exact sentence right there. Can you do anything about the situation you guys are facing right now? If the answer is no, then you should begin letting go. Don't hate the play, hate the game, bars. So basically, the idea is you guys are holding on purposefully, and a lot of you guys do it purposefully because you think that if you let go, you're actually going to lose them forever. But I've had videos in the past called Let Them Go to Get Them Back. You have to be able or willing to let them go in order for them to come back into your life, because that is when you are free of the need. It's a paradox. I'm going to read on. Have you ever held on to an emotion? Sorry, I already read that. Have you ever held on to tension or anxiety even after the initial event that triggered it was long over? Yes, I have done that personally. Story time. Used to be a very angry guy. And I used to get mad at people for the dumbest shit. People in traffic. If somebody in traffic did something dumb, I'm sure some of you guys can probably relate. But I would hold on to that shit. That fucking guy pissed me off, blah, blah, blah. I would hold on to that for ages and ages and ages. Okay? Not ages, but too damn long. Okay? Where I'd let it affect my whole day. Now when it happens, I'm like, fuck it, whatever. Right? And to most people, you don't hold on to stupid things like that. But because I had traumas and childhood issues that I held on to, it was kind of like a pressure cooker. If your emotions are like a pressure cooker, and you don't deal with them or let them go, or let that little thing holding the pressure in, the little thing that you turn and it goes psst, and lets out all the anger, or let out all the sadness, whatever you're holding on to, or the range of emotions that you're holding on to. For me, anytime like that pressure was already high, and then when somebody pissed me off, it would just be like full of more pressure, right? Says this is the form of holding on that we will explore throughout this book. What is the opposite of holding on? Well, it's letting go, of course. Both letting go and holding on are part of the natural process of life. This is what I was telling you guys before in one of my previous videos. When you let go, you've done it before. You've done it with an ex before. You've done it with a family member before. You've done it with losing a job before. Whatever it is that you guys have gone through, you've done it before. It's natural. We're supposed to. But when you hold on, you're actually choosing to hold on to that person. You're choosing to hold on to the future that you built up in your head. You're choosing to hold on to the things that they've put you through, whatever it is. This fundamental understanding is the basis of the Sedona Method. No matter who you are, if you're reading these words, I can guarantee you've already frequently experienced letting go, often without being aware that it's happening. So in order to make a really big breakthrough in this, okay, you're actually going to want to start remembering all the times that you've actually let go, because you can become conscious of those times. You can actually think back. This is why we have memories. You can think back to times when something has gone wrong, or you've gone through something and you're like, I'm fine now. You can just remember that and go, I'm going to be fine now anyway. And then that's how you start removing yourself from the actual emotions you're experiencing. That's how you remove yourself and start going, okay, I can now let go. I'm getting better and better at doing this. And even without being taught the method, letting go or releasing is a natural ability that we are all born with, but which we get conditioned against using as we mature into adulthood. It's kind of funny when you watch it. Like, so my wife, right? Her sister had a child like 4 years ago, 4 years soon. And watching her grow up, I've now seen firsthand the way children are, and they let go of things so easily. You can argue that they haven't developed deep bonds and connections that have been broken yet, so they don't really know. That's why your first heartbreak hurts so bad. In general, they let go of things like it's nothing, like it's easy, right? They fall down, they cry, they get over it, they move on, right? And I know that, again, it's not as deep as losing someone or losing a family member or whatever, but I think when you are conditioned and taught the right methods to let go and the right things and how to do it, because your parents probably don't know how to do it. So how the fuck could they teach you how to do it? So when I watch, like when I see this kid grow up, it's kind of amazing because you're like, okay, like, and we can learn a lot from children. We really can. Adults think that they know everything, but they don't fucking know shit, really. So we're going back, continuing here. Where so many of us frequently get stuck is that we don't know when it is appropriate to let go and when it is appropriate to hold on. And most of us err on the side of holding on, often to our detriment. Guys, if I could sum up all of you going through this breakup stuff and you're really seeking help, that is all. You guys are holding on and holding on and holding on and holding on and holding on to a narrative that does not serve you anymore. Human beings do this a lot. Religious stuff, right? Parents, family members haven't served you. Look, your family doesn't have to serve you, but if they're taking away from you, they're taking away from your energy, they're taking away from your happiness, that's not serving you anymore. That's a detriment to your health, your mental health, and your emotional health, your energy. There are a few synonyms for holding on and letting go that will probably make this point much clearer. Closing and opening, for example. When you're throwing a ball, you need to hold your hand closed around the ball through much of your arm motion. But if you don't open your hand and release the ball when it's appropriate, the ball will not go where you want it to. You could even get hurt. Other synonyms are contraction and expansion. In order for us to breathe, we must contract our lungs and force the used air out. And then we expand them, filling them with air. We can't only inhale. To complete the breathing process, we must also exhale. Tensing and relaxing our muscles is another example. If you do not do both, our muscles literally would not function properly, as most muscles work in pair of opposing partners. It is interesting to note that the emotional component of holding on and releasing and the degree of which our bodies are impacted by our feelings. Have you noticed when people are upset, they often hold their breath? In the process of breathing, both inhalation and exhalation can be inhibited by holding on to unresolved emotions. Most of us hold residual tension in our muscles, which never allows us to relax fully. That is crazy. I remember I used to hold a lot of tension in my jaw. I used to do this all the time, right? And I had to unlearn that because I used to like have a sore like face, like right here, right? And I was like, why do I do that, right? And it was always when I was working. So it was almost like I was fearful that what I was doing at the time like wasn't going to work, right? Again, it's unresolved or suppressed emotions that are the basis for these forms of constriction. But why do we get stuck? When we suppress our emotions rather than allowing ourselves to experience our feelings fully in the moment they arise, they linger and make us uncomfortable. Through avoidance, remember that word, we are preventing our emotions from flowing through us, either transforming or dissolving, and it doesn't feel good. Basically, that is exactly what you guys are doing. You guys are holding on to a narrative that no longer serves you. Yes, you've fallen in love with them. You've fallen in love with the idea of what they could be. You've fallen in love with their family and and everything that they bring to you. Letting them go. Some people are literally holding on to relationships that have been over for years, right? Or sometimes several years. Like I have a student right now who still has trouble moving on from his wife, right? And things weren't good for a long time, but he built up the idea that they were going to be together forever for so many years, and his identity became, one of her and him together. So basically, he doesn't really know who he is. So now he has to literally form a new identity, and this is what we're working on. So we're taking pieces of, what he likes, like we're taking him, and we're shedding off all the old beliefs and narratives and things that he's believed for all of, because as a kid he probably probably believed that he was going to find a wife and live that societal narrative that we are given, and he was heartbroken by that, right? So we're learning we're giving new thoughts, we're developing new ideas around what his belief systems are. That's what we're working on. So it's really tough. It is. But I think the best thing that you can do is, again, we always have to go back into our own energy, because when you are identified with the person that you were once with and then they break up with you, you're not going to really understand who you are. You've had so many built up ideas and the routines and all that. That is why you have to have a big life outside of your relationship. Like friends, businesses, networks, because when you make your life your relationship and it goes away, you're not going to recognize yourself in the mirror anymore. People do this all the time, even with their jobs. They do something for so long that they don't even know what they like anymore. They don't do I even like this anymore? Am I even stimulated by this anymore? And it's a great question, right? So you guys have to let go. You have to let go of what you're holding on to. Let go of those old emotions. Just let it go. Let it go. It is not important. Refocus everything that you want to do on a day-to-day basis and do those things. Even though you feel like shit, do them anyway. You're recreating a new version of you. You're going to be doing something that you haven't done before most of the time. A lot of you guys get back into lifting weights. A lot of you guys are asking me how to make money online. A lot of you guys are asking how to actually understand women and understand what they're looking for, and how to be a person that is attractive enough for a good woman to actually want to be with. And it's really important that you learn how to control your emotions. That's really what this is all about. Controlling your emotions. Because if you can't control your emotions and you can't control yourself, and you can't, think for yourself, even why would a woman want to be around you? Why would a woman even want to be with you at all? It makes no sense. Okay. If you have any questions or you want coaching or anything like that, let me know. Stop hanging on to your old belief systems and narratives and just start focusing on you. Focus on your own energy. Start lifting weights. Start focusing on your health. Start doing all that stuff. And start learning how to control your emotions. It's the best thing you guys can do. If you guys have any questions or you want coaching, it's all down below in the description box. Done.